Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me here today. This is your one-stop shop for cryptocurrency analysis, among other things. Now we're taking a look at ADA. And ADA is a fan favorite, so thank you to my Patreon community for asking I cover this. You're all very awesome, and I'm happy to provide you with an analysis. Once again, I know I covered this recently, but we want to cover it again because there's been a lot of movement in the market. This is just a technical analysis. There's no fundamentals here. Also, please understand I'm not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only. Always do your own research. I have years of trading experience, so my goal here is to teach you how to trade for a lifetime. So you're going to hopefully learn a little thing or two along the way and maybe have a good time as well and make an informed decision. So we'll check that out in a moment. Just note that there is a link to my Patreon account, my Discord channel, as well as my Telegram community, so we can all get engaged and learn together. So please feel free to reference that on your own time. Without further ado, let's check it out. Alright folks, let's go ahead and take a look at ADA. I'm excited to check this one out because it feels like it's just been nothing but red days, and today's finally a green day. Who doesn't love green days, right? So we're going to look at Bitcoin and Ethereum first to kind of get a baseline of the market, overall sentiment, see what's going on there. Then we'll transition over to ADA, take a closer look, take a deeper dive from the 1 day chart, 4 hour, 15 minute, and 1 minute, kind of help you find good perspective, best practice, and a great entry point, if at all possible. Alright, so first thing we're going to look at is Bitcoin, and to preface, I use Binance desktop application, trading view within. You can click on it in the top right hand corner to find that and follow along if you'd like. I also use the 50 and the 200 day moving average, which is a simple moving average on the 4 hour chart preferably, and I'll dive into the view app and EMA lines later. But on the 4 hour chart for Bitcoin, simply put, we're currently testing the support and resistance level of 38,800. It kind of went above, dropped below, got rejected the 50 day moving average, so pay attention to what happens here soon. We might see some, maybe some price reaction to the 50 day moving average, but likely will jump above and stay above. That's the hope and the goal. I think it's realistic at this point for that to happen, but we might need a little more time, it looks like. Other indicators are above. No really need to explain that because that is a ways off. Let's just focus on getting to 40,000 and take it from there. Ethereum. And if you're new to crypto or just in general, you don't know, when Bitcoin sells off, Ethereum is like the first place that investors go, and which is why we saw the price increase so hard here after the first few sell-offs, because Bitcoin was going lateral and Ethereum was blowing up, right? So that's awesome in the sense because you need something to fall back on. It's good, but at this point in time, Ethereum is effectively being the same exact movement. It's essentially mirroring Bitcoin almost to a T right now. So it's the exact same movement. So I feel like that's a lot of indecision in the market. Everyone's kind of concerned and worried about that. But also other coins are getting more capitalization. Like I think ADA and XRP, Matic, they're all getting a lot of volume, and they're taking a lot of Ethereum's capitalization, right? So just something to be aware of course. Doesn't matter much right now because it's doing the same thing as Bitcoin, so just be mindful of that. That's how Ethereum is performing right now. Now on to ADA. Let's take a look at this here. So something I like to note on the 1 day chart is how ADA performed in the past. In other words, when you see this ramp up here, that was essentially when we had the first Elon candle, right? So in other words, the Elon candle was this guy here. Our very first sell-off, Tesla says, nope, we're not accepting Bitcoin any longer. That's on the 12th. Then on the 18th, financial institutions can no longer use Bitcoin in China. Second one drops off. So if we look at ADA, the 12th and the 18th, here's what happened. The 12th, which is right here, this guy right here, that was the Bitcoin sell-off from Tesla, right? So we saw this come way down. I mean, I don't know what that percent was. I forget what it was, but we lost 15% overall market in approximately 24 hours when ADA increased and kicked total butt, right? The PC way to talk about it. So yeah, so long story short, I like to look at those things because that tells us that there's, people went right over to ADA as soon as Bitcoin was selling off. That was a good thing. But ADA had to lose it eventually because not only did the RSI likely come up over 70, which it did, yes, but the 18th was the sell-off, right? So it had a slight retracement here. So it comes up, retraces back down. It's probably going to consolidate around $2, but then the major sell-off happened, and the price had to plummet and drop down all the way to, geez, look at that, almost at 101. So that's a great value, great price. But generally speaking, that is what happened. That's what caused us to get here. So just keep in mind, if you're uncertain about ADA and its consistency, it's pretty consistent contrary to Bitcoin. But when Bitcoin drops as fast as it did, there's a lot of fear and fear mongering going on in the industry, and everything starts to shift. And that's what we saw there. But now I feel like Bitcoin has hit its bottom. It's been tested a couple of times at 32,000. So this is what we're seeing now, the increase based on that. All right, so that's what's going on there. And then just to note, RSI is right in the middle, fair to middling. That's great. The MACD is still implying that it's bearish momentum, but the one-day chart's taking a little while. It always takes a few days to catch up. So just note that might and will likely shift here soon. So 4-hour chart for ADA. Let's take a look here. All good signs. I like a lot of these things here. The price is hovering over the 200-day moving average. That's probably the biggest, most important thing you could see. A little concerning that the 50-day moving average is coming down like this. That's considered a death cross when the price comes down, or correction, the moving average comes down to intersect with the 200. When the 50 comes down to the 200, you can see that. But if the price action is above, it really doesn't matter. It'll just work as a stronger support. So preferably the price, the 50-day moving average continues to go down, the price continues to go up. We have that confirmation of a stronger support signal. Furthermore, RSI is right in good shape, so it's kind of just right in the middle. This is good. That basically means this recent ramp up wasn't considered overextended. So we could probably see another strong push, a rally up to $2 soon, and the RSI would still be under 70. That'd be awesome. But I like this little short period of consolidation. Lets things calm down a little bit, and we can find another drive up, because any good bull run has short periods of consolidation in between. Furthermore, the MACD does imply that we are in a bullish sentiment, which makes sense. Obviously, we have this bullish run here. So if it continues for a couple more days, then that would help confirm that. So we're going to look at the 15-minute chart now. And I always disable the simple moving averages and enable my volume weighted average price and my EMA 15. So if you're new to all this, VWAP is a volume weighted average price. It could be pronounced VWAP. Some people do that. But it basically takes the volume in the last 24 hours and expresses it as a price. And for some reason, actually, I guess I understand the reason, but you see this increase right here, 8:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, every single day the VWAP resets. So it basically resets its 24-hour average right at that point. That's why you see that jumping up there, but the price was obviously overextended before that. But right now, at this current time, the volume is telling us that as a price, we're expecting the price to be roughly about 152. So the price should be 152. Now, great news is the price came down, bounced off of VWAP, and is now trending above the EMA line. So this is the start of essentially a bull run right here. This is a good sign. So oftentimes I like to take entry after I have confirmation above EMA and VWAP when I have two solid green bars. These are the two solid green bars. In other words, the two green bars closing above the EMA and VWAP line in a 30-minute period, or two 15-minute candlesticks. All right. So me personally, that's usually an entry point for me when I'm looking at the charts like this. Okay. All right. So that is essentially the 15-minute chart. Not much else to note except for the fact that we do have a little bit of a bullish run here, bullish start. It'll probably maybe test this temporary resistance at about 160, and if it breaks above, it might continue a little further. In fact, why don't we go ahead and see if we can identify some support and resistance levels while we're at it. Yeah, there you go. It makes sense. You see that there? This level was already tested previously. Once, twice, struck out. Third time, this could be the fourth time to break above. So 159, let's just say 160 is a round number. Once the price comes up over 160 and stays above for no less than 30 minutes, then we would be looking at a confirmation. That would give us confirmation that that is a new support level. So that's what we're hoping for there. Look at the 1-minute chart just to quickly note. And these are the indicators I just pushed on here. Look at that. That's pushing up pretty strong. It's a really hard run. I might see it jump above. But just something to note on the 1-minute chart. When you're looking at this here, again, it's really choppy right here because this is a consolidation phase. But generally speaking, when the price action is above the EMA line, that's this red line here, that tells us it's bullish, and it comes below, it's kind of bearish, right? So on a good bull run, you're going to see the price go in waves like this. It never goes straight. But when the price is going in waves like this and it's consistently making higher highs and higher lows, that's the start of a bull run, right? So you want to try to pay attention to that. As soon as you see this happen 2 or 3 times, a good entry point would be somewhere in this range here, and you want to try to look for 2 or 3 solid green bars. That would basically be 3 minutes worth of confirmation knowing the price is moving above. Price is over VWAP and DMA line. Good entry point would be right here. And what you do concurrently is you also pay attention to the RSI. Look, the RSI peaks up over 70 right here, comes back down. So a good exit strategy would be to kind of sell right in this range here when the RSI is overextended. Again, I only see this on the 1 minute chart because commonly the RSI responds faster on the 1 minute chart. So when it comes up over 70, it could be a good indication of a sell signal. But just say, for example, you had done that on a day trade, you would have taken 1.5%, 2%, and that's a good gain right there. Okay. Now you could have effectively done the same thing here, but again, you don't want to chase the bottom. But see how the VWAP worked as a support level here? That's a good sign. That means that the momentum is bullish and the price is considered to be still oversold, and its the demand is increasing. Okay. So that's kind of how that works. Also note the resistance level of 160 rejected the price. So we might see a period of consolidation here, but we may also see a channel here. So we might see something to this effect. So you go like that. Again, this is just a rough estimate. No, this is not concrete at all, but it is kind of working itself into somewhat of a channel here. And the fact that it's tested the resistance level there of 160 approximately, well, 3 times in the last 24 hours, but also 5, 6, 7, 8 times in the last, 3 or 4 days, it's going to likely break. It'll probably break upwards. Usually when you see a wedge pattern forming upwards like this, it breaks in an upward fashion. So I don't have any doubt in my mind that we're going to see ADA's price above 160 very, very soon, and then obviously likely continue to go on its bull run after. Again, it depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin can just reach a state of consolidation for the next couple of days, it is going to take off and get back up over $2 easy. Okay. So that's what's going on with ADA. Hopefully you found this beneficial. If you do, comment below, let me know. If we might have missed something, feel free to reach out through my my Patreon account if you want to show your support. I've got a Telegram community too. I'm creating a signal group through my Patreon for my subscribers. They are actually asking for that for some time now. So just know that I will have a signal group soon to help try to predict and give you good entry points on the currencies you are requesting. All right. So that is essentially to be continued. We'll check that out here very, very soon. So that's another couple weeks or so. I'm working on that, as well as, also going to be doing some live streams the next couple weeks here to essentially just do some live chart analysis. So you make your requests and I go ahead and analyze it like I'm doing now, only live. Okay. I'll likely be doing that a couple hours a weekend, at least for starters, to see how that goes. But that is all I have for today. Thanks again for joining me here. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.